Harare, Zimbabwe's former president Robert Mugabe was granted immunity from prosecution and assured that his safety would be protected in his home country as part of a deal that led to his resignation, sources close to the negotiations said on Thursday. Mugabe, who had led Zimbabwe from independence in 1980, stepped down on Tuesday after the army seized power and the ruling party turned against him. Emmerson Mnangagwa, the former vice president sacked by Mugabe earlier this month, is set to be sworn in as president on Friday. Former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa will soon be sworn in as president, marking a new era for a country dominated by Robert Mugabe for nearly 4 decades. Hafiz Saeed is accused of masterminding the 2008 terror attacks in which 166 people were killed. Now, he is being freed from house arrest. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and Foreign Minister Julie Bishop have outlined Australia's changing priorities on the global stage, when releasing the Foreign Policy White Paper. Tension is rising on Manus Island with PNG police inside the detention centre, as around 100 men refused to leave, weeks after essential services were cut off. ITAS bumper to bumper in Los Angeles as families try to get ahead of each other for the Thanksgiving holiday. A U.S. Navy transport plane carrying 11 people has crashed in the Philippine Sea south of Japan, with officials reporting 3 people still missing. U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited a feud with the father of one of the 3 UCLA basketball players who were detained in China on suspicion of shoplifting. Former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa will soon be sworn in as president, marking a new era for a country dominated by Robert Mugabe for nearly 4 decades. A government source said Mugabe, 93, told negotiators he wanted to die in Zimbabwe and had no plans to live in exile. It was very emotional for him and he was forceful about it, said the source, who is not authorized to speak on the details of the negotiated settlement. For him it was very important that he be guaranteed security to stay in the country. Although that will not stop him from traveling abroad when he wants to or has to, the source said. Mugabe resigned as Parliament began a process to impeach him, sparking wild celebrations in the streets. His rapid downfall after 37 years in power was triggered by a battle to succeed him that pitted Mnangagwa against Mugabe's much younger wife Grace. The outgoing president is obviously aware of the public hostility to his wife, the anger in some circles about the manner in which she conducted herself and approached ZANU-PF party politics, a second source said. Get the latest news and updates emailed straight to your inbox. By submitting your email you are agreeing to Fairfax Media's terms and conditions and privacy policy. In that regard, it became necessary to also assure him that his whole